Hello, I am Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star. I'm here with Nathan Brown. This is Acrisure Stadium, even though I still think it should be Heinz Field. Nathan, one of the weirder games in terms of what these two teams look like that we've seen of the season.
Both the positives and the negatives for the Colts. As we've talked about, you had two 50-plus yard field goals from Michael Bagley. You had over 300 yards from Daniel Jones. You had 200-yard receivers, which this team has not had this year, but also 6 turnovers. 5 of them credited to Daniel Jones, although I don't know how many of them he actually really deserves that blame for. But just a messy game that the Colts couldn't recover from, and they end up losing 27-20 to the Steelers today.
Ultimately, I know Jonathan Taylor only had 14 carries. I feel like, though, focusing on that is kind of a mistake when you should look at the offensive line, because this is an offensive line that couldn't give him any room. He never really had any room to run. And also the 5 sacks. Jones has been good under pressure, but it was very consistent today.
Yeah, very consistent, and a lot of those turnover-causing pressures came really, really fast. I mean, you had 2 strip sacks for fumbles, a batted ball in the air. Ultimately, he had, I think, a couple balls that he would like to get back, but those were the 2 that I really felt he had issues with there. And ultimately, these days happen in the NFL, and yet the Colts were still within 7 points down the stretch. It kind of became a game that they, in a way, you felt like maybe started to get the momentum, and the Steelers were panicking a little bit and kind of just ran out of time.
Ultimately, games like this do happen in the NFL. Packers lost to the Panthers today. The Lions lost to the Vikings. There are a couple other games that didn't go the way they were supposed to. The question is, does this carry over to next week and the weeks after, or do the Colts go back to what they were before this? For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson. This is Nathan Brown.
To be in, how difficult is it to overcome when you have a day like that?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, mistakes pile up, and it's hard to win teams versus a good football team when you do that. So.
Is it more frustrating knowing that even with those turnovers, you're right there in this game at a chance to have an opportunity to possibly win this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like our defense came out and played hard, and we put them in some bad spots, and I feel like they showed up, and we didn't.
You and Alec each went over 100 yards, first time that this team's had 100-yard receivers so far this season, but what made it so difficult to capitalize on and create some offensive momentum against this defense?
Yeah, I mean, turnovers were just disruptive, right? Like when we get going and then we have a turnover. So that, and then also penalties. Like I had a drive-killing penalty where I just lined up a little too far. So there's a lot of things that came out.
This outside the Broncos game this year, you guys haven't been behind, which is, I guess, a good thing so far through 8 games. How do you feel like this team responded when you guys got down 2 scores entering the halftime?
I mean, we kept fighting until the very end. I mean, we weren't going to lay down, and we gave it our best whirl. We kicked a field goal and we tried to get the onside. We came up short, but we're just going to keep fighting. It doesn't matter what that score says.
What was it that they were doing that was causing the issues? I mean, I know a lot of you guys can take credit for your turnovers, but at the end of the day, you are going up against them. Take us through that. Just what were they doing causing the problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think that their pass rush. I mean, they got one of the best. So obviously, our plan for him just wasn't enough, and they were getting back there, and we weren't getting open fast enough, and we got to figure out ways to speed it up, for guys like that, because he's not going to be the last one that we see.
Even with all of the costly penalties and mistakes, you're 7 points away from time right in it. How much does that test the adversity, the resilience? How do you guys grow as a group through this?
Absolutely. I mean, we just got to get going from the first quarter, and it took us too long, and we got going in the fourth quarter, and that wasn't enough.
Is this a bag or just a blip? What do you think?
I think losing is part of life, and individually as a team, and we just need to get better and learn from the game. And losing makes you better in the long run, as long as you learn from it, and that's what we're going to do. I think our preparation has been really good throughout the whole entire year, and there's nothing I would change that we did during the week. Game plan's good and everything. We just got to go out there and execute better, and hats off to the Steelers. They played a great game defensively.
Is it fair, you played 8 games and performed well offensively? That doesn't seem like a fluke, I guess. I mean, is that something you guys can kind of lean on, I guess?
I don't know. I think we just try to be our best every day. Guys care about each other, and they play for each other. They come to work for each other and grind for each other. And love the guys on this team, love our coaches, and we'll be back next week. Next week's the most important week. It's the next opportunity, and we're looking forward to it.
Big Q, what do you think led to some of the just success of their defensive line today with some of the pass rush?
I don't know. I got to watch the film.
Big Q, I know Colts fans not used to seeing you guys, not just the issues with the O-line, but just the penalties and just stuff that we're not used to seeing. Take us through the level of just far as what was it the Steelers were doing that was causing some problems for you guys?
I think a lot of the times we beat ourselves today with the penalties. That's definitely on us. And they have great players on their front too. So like credit to them. They get paid too to play this game, and they have great players who can make plays. And I don't really know. I got to watch the film to really dissect it. So yeah.
Allow you to really get into the nuts and bolts of, how things are working or what's not working. So we got to go back to the drawing board. Lost to a good team today. It's got to be better next week in Germany.
I know you guys want to learn from this, but is the best medicine kind of moving on and just focusing after a performance like today?
Yeah, some of those plays was happiness, Obviously, they got great players on their side that's making a lot of plays, but, I think it was some stuff that we could take from this game and positive, but, we got to get back to the film and get into it and learn from it and move on.
See, when it comes to doing hard things as a defense, facing short fields over and over again is pretty tough, but that's kind of the job, right? You're asked to step up in hard situations.
No question. Those are the type of situations that, as a defense, you really live for because you know what it means to the momentum of the game. Know what it means for offense to get a short field to stop them, whether that's a turnover on downs or a field goal, is a big momentum shift in the game. So, obviously, I wish we could have came up with a bigger play earlier in the game, maybe to help spark our offense, but just got something to build on and something to continue to grow from moving forward.
In the game, how do you feel like this team reacted and responded to just what turned out to be a tough start and a tough deficit to come back from?
It just showed that we're a resilient group. Didn't blink in the face of adversity. In a tough environment and in a place where they're looking to try to run us out of the building. I think we kept our foot down and kept going. And forward to the very end. So that's positive from the day.
Why do you feel the yards were tough to come by for you in particular?
Oh, well, definitely we got to play better football. The penalties, turnovers, it's going to be hard to win an NFL game playing like that.
What about for you in particular? Just 45 yards, not what we'd come to expect from you?
Oh, well, like I said, definitely when you play behind the sticks, like I said, turning the ball over, it just puts you in a different situation.
This is a mature team, even when you're 7-1, didn't get too high. How much of this is this happens, move, clear the tape, move on?
Yeah, it happened. You don't want it to happen. It sucks. It doesn't feel good, but we do understand it's a long season, and the great teams, they find a way to bounce back. They find a way to get better from this. But in the moment, it definitely does not feel good at all.
You fought to the finish. You it could have been a Hail Mary for the win. Does that give you confidence that this team fights in these adverse situations?
That's definitely the kind of team that we want to be. We want to be a team where it's going to be a full 60-minute match with us. We're going to fight, scratch, and claw until that clock strikes 0.
You guys have been able to.
Turnovers always reflect poorly on the quarterback on the outside, but you've seen Daniel all year. What do you feel any differently about him after today?
Not at all. Especially us too. We got to give him time. O-line, running backs. As a whole, we got to give him time. We got to be in the right spots as far as via routes and being in our area. So it's the entire offense. It's a cumulative thing, and we have to be better with the football.
You guys have been able to jump out early on lots of teams this year and play with the lead, and it seems like it's kind of snowballed on a lot of teams you guys have played. What was maybe difficult about getting behind early and then having to play with a 10-point deficit coming in the second half?
Anytime you have to come back with a deficit, you kind of have to play with a little tempo. Things are a little bit different. But of course, there are going to be games like that. You don't want it to be like that, but it's the NFL, so there's going to be games like that. So we got to find a way to make sure that we're still operating efficiency and at a high level, even in those situations.
Do you feel like the same kind of applies to a game like this, when it goes the other way?
Yeah, I think it's important to come in and make the corrections and understand you got a game to play this week coming up, so there's no point in lingering on it too long, learn from it and move on.
Turnovers are really deflating, obviously, especially when you're moving the ball. Otherwise, just how does it just sort of stifle things when you just can't get a drive going?
Yeah, I think especially when you're doing it and give them. It's really the drive start, right? You give them the ball that close, it's hard for defense to not give up points. So that's on us, putting them in bad position, and obviously it all didn't go on Daniel. There were tip passes. There was some other stuff that goes into interceptions and fumbles like that. So I think as a group we'll look at it and fix it and understand it. It's a big thing in a football game.
I don't feel like there's any sense in here that's like what's going on, what happened, none of that. I mean, it's kind of. Can you guys shake this off? I guess. I mean, you still feel like you're who you guys proved to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's upset, and it's not the outcome you want. But I think being able to shake it off would be important, and just keep being able to move on and keep playing a long season. So we still got a lot to do.
Did you feel like they gave you anything you guys weren't expecting defensively?
No, I mean, I think there's always going to be new things each week that you're not expected for, but I think they still, were stuck to their identity and did kind of what they do all year.
Really good team. We didn't do enough to win.
Feels like with the 7-1 start, you guys did a good job of not being too high. You guys stayed focused. Like, is that in a similar token when it's a loss? You guys know you aren't as bad as it was today. Like, what kind of maturity does this group have to not read too much into it, but take the lessons as well?
I mean, every week it's a big game because it's the next game, and to be a good football team, we got to be good on the road. We got to be good in hostile environments like this. We got to be good with the noise level and keeping the chemistry, keeping the togetherness and complementary football.
You had been good playing complementary football, and even after some turnovers by the offense, you guys have bounced back and maybe even created some of your own earlier this year. But it must be hard to do it time after time after time today.
I mean, it's a game of momentum. You got to be able to steal the momentum back when things aren't going your way as a team. So, and speaking about kind of complementary football, when the offense needs us, we just got to step up. So we just got to keep going as a team to raise the bar, to turn it up a notch, and whenever we need to play or whenever we need to steal that momentum back, we got to be able to trust each other, the guys to the left and right of us, to make the play.
There's been a lot of great performances by this team before this year, so I assume this loss doesn't change your opinion of the quality this team has.
Yeah, man. Whatever we've done, it's not good enough. You know what I mean? So like going into November, we got to play our best ball. We got to get closer to it. So no one cares about what happened in September, October. We got a really good game coming up here in Germany.
So the turnovers today, man, that's the one thing you guys have avoided. Just did that largely decide this game?
Yeah, I think absolutely. When you look at any game, turnovers are a key, and then to turn over as many times as we did today, you're gonna have a tough time winning. So obviously that's on me. I got to protect the ball better and make sure we're giving ourselves a chance. I thought we did some good things at times, but just turnovers and some of those things I gotta clean up, make sure we're not hurting ourselves.
When you look at the interceptions, Shane said 2 of them were tipped. How do you see the 3 of them?
I need to go back and look at the film and break them down. And I think they're all independent. I think just evaluate the decision, the process, what could have changed, what I could have done better. But certainly can't have them. Can't afford to put the ball in jeopardy those times. So go back and look at them on tape and clean it up.
On the sack fumbles, I mean, is there anything a quarterback can do better? You said you can do better, but I mean, is there much you can do on those?
Well, I think fundamentally it's always about keeping the ball tight and securing it. Something that we work, and I just got to make sure I do a better job with that, and then getting the ball out on time when I can. So I think that's always my job. Credit to them; they have a good pass rush and guys who can really rush. So knowing that, I got to get the ball back.
At the game, obviously hard to win when you turn over like we did. Credit to the Steelers and their defense and what they did. Obviously, it could have been better for our guys today, moving the football up and down the field. But I thought the fight, obviously at the end, even there at the end, our guys were fighting like crazy. There was no quitting the guys, so I like that. And obviously, got to look at it tomorrow, get it cleaned up, and get ready to go for Atlanta.
Did they do anything different defensively than what they've shown over the course of the year?
They did a few little things, but credit to them. They played good on defense.
How do you explain the offensive line just not winning more?
I don't know. I mean, I got a lot of faith in our offensive line. Like I said, give credit to Pittsburgh. I think they did some good things. And so we'll get them cleaned up and get ready for Atlanta.
Shane, how would you assess the way Daniel Jones performed today under pressure a lot?
I think he did good. I mean, the interceptions, you look at interceptions, you look at the stat line, 2 of them were tip balls. And then, we're 2 minute, we're trying to get chunks. They're in soft defense. We're trying to chug it down the field. I think just the one where the guy dropped out, underneath it and made a good play, Wilson there. I thought that was good. But, I thought he was, besides those things, I thought, he did what he does.
Is it hard to get JT going in a game like that? Just with changing possession so much, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, could I have got some more carries in there for him? Yeah, probably. I thought they did some good things, stopping the run early, getting some, 2-3 yard carries and whatnot. And then we got to go in there a little bit, and then obviously had the turnovers that stopped some drives. But yeah, we'll always look at those things and go from there.